Welcome to Saturday's weekly mindfulness program. There are a little bit of confusion about, not for many people, that what are the means for meditation and what are not the means which our mind consider that will help us succeed in mindfulness. There are a lot of stuff, and every master has explained differently, but I'll pick up a couple of points. Normally people ask me what book I should read to study to understand mindfulness. So normally that intention is an attitude of scholarship. Let me understand intellectually without doing the practice. So this is not the means to succeed in mindfulness. It has to be understood with reference to the 3 points. Shravanam, listening, learning or studying the topic. Then we have to contemplate and reflect. So that contemplation and reflection should lead us to conviction and the purity of the mind. Normally we say the contemplation on the principle leads us to conviction and the reflection removes the doubt, and followed by the practice. I just want to bring in a couple of things that you may need to be aware of in order to reach to the higher state. Normally, a lot of people are doing sacrifices, performing rituals. No, not required. No ritual, no sacrifices are required in the journey of. Some people say, oh, I have a personal God and let me pray the God. That will help me succeed in mindfulness. Masters categorically denies. When we go into the higher practices of meditation, studying is important. It should be focused, but with reference to contemplation and reflection. Now, one point the master makes. We normally go to yoga classes and we remember a ritual, namaste. So here the master says that whether you are performing a ritual, praying to the God, what is the most important? The word is used Mangala Charana. That means we have to create an auspicious moment for undertaking the journey of meditation. And what is that auspicious moment? Our ego, including the intellect and the mind, always like to perceive the objects of the world. So they named it that we have to keep aside our ego. That is why we say namaste to the teacher, but not to the teacher. There is a catch in it. That you are doing namaste to your own self. So the mind must keep aside all the information and all the sense of attachment at the time of doing meditation. So we are covering, in short, what are the means to succeed and what are not the means to succeed. Then in one of the text, the Master says, the outer wealth cannot help us. Yeah, you may pay the fees to me and then you learn it, but still the outer wealth is not the cause to succeed if we are attached to it. At the same time, the Master says, oh, I'm a very good person, I'm doing so many good work. I have one student here in Arizona, and she is obsessed with doing good to others, with a hope that I will succeed in mindfulness. It is important. So what happens? Doing good work for others helps us to purify the mind. That will help us succeed in mindfulness. But good work alone is not enough. No, she says that, we have to help others. I said, I'm a very selfish person. I don't help anyone. Not interested. Not interested. So keep the mind very clear. Doing good work, it is an aid to meditation and mindfulness. Now, as the Master goes deeper, I close my eyes, so I have lot of thoughts. The mind is wandering. Where the mind is wandering? You see that contemplation and reflection? The mind is obsessed, habituated to see the objects of the world through the sense organs. And the sense organs are the instrument of knowledge to know the world outside. It is not required in meditation. So what the Master says, become aware of it. That whether the thoughts are coming or not coming, relationship to the objects of the world, let them come and go. Because that is not your cup of tea. That's how we say, that's not my cup of tea. Okay, mine. So what will happen? Here is a catch, another way to understand it. How do you see me? My name and the shape. It is the sense organ as an instrument of knowledge through which the image is reflecting on your screen. So what happens, very important, once you understand that, the meditation becomes a play and fun. When we see the objects of the world, it is gross or the physical mind. Now see that, how do you see the breath? Do you see the breath? You say, yes, I feel the breath. I know the breath is going in and out. So it is the subtle mind. Now it is not the physical mind that perceives through the sense organ. It is the subtle mind. You will say, no, I feel the sensation of touch. That is also from the sense organ. You are right. So what about the subtler mind? How do you see the thoughts? How do you know that the thoughts are there in the mind? Subtler mind. Now you are moving beyond the thought. It is the subtlest mind. So what is the journey of meditation, if I say so? You move the mind from outside to inside, means you are making the mind subtle, subtler, subtlest. We have a very famous phrase in when you meet masters in the Himalayas. They say, where the needle works, the Caesar cannot. So they have a reference that the subtle mind only succeeds in meditation. What is that subtle mind? It has a subtle perception. So there is a physical perception through the sense organs. There is a perception of the breath. There is a perception of the thoughts. And then there is a perception beyond. Only the needle works there. I'm quoting another reference, another point, and then we will start our journey. Daily, we cannot live without action. And every action has a motivation, interest, created in the mind by the mind. Can I get rid of that motivation so that practice needs to be done 24/7? And that process and the method is known as the Karma Yoga. You are a couple, you have to prepare a tea for your honey, go to the kitchen, no motivation, you play your role. What is that meaning? You prepare the tea for the sake of expressing happiness and peace in that act. And I can tell you that even if you do it for about a week, the entire life changes. Why the master is saying that that karma yoga purifies the mind also. And when you have a purification of the mind can succeed in meditation. So you are going to the office, you are the boss, you play your role. Don't get attached to it. Playing your role? A Hollywood actor plays the role of a criminal. He goes back to the home. He doesn't play the same. He doesn't start acting like a criminal. Role has come and gone. Why? Because that helps your mind to purify and have an attitude of dispassion. Even doing your own work. Let me play my role. Now, the way I'm doing it. I pick up the topic and then I explain it. The moment you have those ideas or principles in your mind, so let me go into the meditation in a casual and natural manner, whatever comes, let me recognize and accept and continue the journey. So you see the Karma Yoga, good works alone cannot help us. The wealth cannot help us. The wrong perception. Sometimes the mind gets obsessed. Why don't I see that true nature inside? You cannot see it. The sense organ do not have the same properties as the pure consciousness has. So the master gives you another clue that don't get carried away by those thoughts and images where the sense organ is receiving the knowledge. Remain free. Continue to live into that state of Karma Yoga. And when you live into that state of Karma Yoga, what happens? You are playing your role. You are not getting obsessed whether the person will like it or don't like it. It doesn't create any likes and dislikes. These are the few points, and we will take other points later. Let us start our journey of mindfulness or meditation. Eyes are closed. I use another word today, and we will go with that word. Eyes are closed. Position of the body. The word outside, you were just a second before, you were looking at me, listening to me. So it was more knowledge coming through the sense organs and the mind, the world outside. Just an awareness, knowledge and experience, my friends. What is the journey we are taking from the gross, means the physical mind, to the subtle, to the subtler, to the subtlest? We are giving a glimpse to the crazy mind. This is what would be the meditative state in the very first step. So maintain your awareness of the physical and the subtle, subtler, subtlest. So now look at the body from the top of the head to the toes, simple position of the body. And our body is related to some sensation in the life. And which mind, how the mind recognizes here this physical body has a life and sensation. And the world outside means your PC, your computer, your house. You see, it is the mind. Now look at the breath, casually looking at the breath, as if you are moving with a morning walk. Okay, let me see the breath. And at the same time, recognize the way the mind perceives the breath is different from the mind perceives the body. The way the mind perceives the non-living objects of the world. How simple it is. Okay, moving away from the breath, deeper than the breath is the mind. How do I know the mind? Oh, it has a lot of thoughts, and I experience the feeling. Oh, the past, the memory comes. But the same mind is looking. Look at it. That is the key. You see, I'd like to give you the glimpse of the variety of ways that the masters have taught us. And, okay, your mind may say, I experience those thoughts and feelings and okay, what is behind? And the mind naturally becomes aware of the space. See that? It becomes aware of the space or darkness. Is it not so simple? So we get a glimpse, Oh, the mind has to move beyond. It needs to become very subtle. If I'm correctly sending the message to your mind. Now look at the being comfortable. Look at the neck joint. Neck joint is an object. It has an image. And what is your experience of sensation, relaxation, and stillness? It is subtle. See that. Sensation, comfortable, and steadiness. We normally talk about intellectually with the scholarship, the mindfulness is an effortless practice. It is because it has to become subtle so that I can perceive what is subtle in me. And just play with this mind. Look at the shoulder joints, gross or physical, experience is there, but the experience is subtle. Sensation, being comfortable, and steadiness. You have an understanding. You're doing that step with that clarity and understanding. So there is no possibility of any other thought entering into your mind at this moment. So now looking at the hip joint. Okay, object, feel. But the moment you feel that sensation, being comfortable and steadiness, it is the subtle mind. Now you find another reason why I go with this preparatory step. being comfortable, being carefree and casual. Just a flow. Well, we frequently use this word flow. So, the entire body from the top of the head to the toes, looking at all the joints, physical body, with a life in it. But the moment you have awareness, knowledge and experience of sensation, being comfortable and steadiness, you are there. When you recognize you are aware of the subtle mind, because subtle mind has the property of the subtle objects, so it will naturally not go to those objects perceived by the sense organs. Look at the natural way. And now what about being carefree? You have heard it maybe 1,000 times. Let the thought come and go. It is a subtle mind. I recognize it. And what is subtler than that? That who is watching? The thoughts are going and coming. I. So how do I translate into a step? That is why I say looking, standing across a road, watching the traffic. There are two things. You are standing across a road. You are standing behind the mind and watching the traffic, watching the thought. That is the meaning of let the thought come and go. 24 hours. You look at the mind, work on the mind, and see that it is the subtle mind that is working. I bet you in a week you will understand how the past impressions, the strong likes and dislikes, causing the trouble in the mind, and the mind is subtle, it will drop it. Looking, feeling the thoughts, it's okay, but at the same time, the subtler mind, I know, yes, thoughts are coming, I know. That I is the subtler. And because of the impurities in the mind loses that subtleness in the practice of meditation, and then we do it for maybe 10 years, 15 years. We build the ego around it, but there is no changes. The third point is being natural. Being natural, being as it is, means what? The physical mind is not dictating you. Look at it. So the subtle mind is always in the state of calmness and quietness. Now see how you are understanding that. So goal is not to induce the calmness, the goal is to see mind is subtle in the field of awareness, knowledge and experience. And that is why there are two-step process that I gave you. Look at the head and the neck. Look at the head and the neck. Be there, object, and then experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. No worries. And then looking inside. What do you look inside? That subtle mind instantly perceives. What it perceives? Space in the sensation, calmness in the quietness, my friend. Natural, it is there. We don't use the word we induce, oh, let me help you relax through meditation. No, you awaken to that state. Who can awaken the subtle mind? Look at the right arm. Who is looking the mind? But we recognize. You are looking the right arm object as a physical object. And then we move to the subtle level. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. It is subtle. And subtler than that, you are looking inside the right arm. We are replacing the habit of the mind moving outside. Be very clear. I'm not teaching any card releasing dogma belief so that, you'll say, okay, let me receive the blessing and everything happens. No. Our journey of the Eastern wisdom, our great masters have clearly said the process. Move the mind on the left arm. Be there. Feel the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. You see that? Physical mind. Left arm. Subtle mind, experience of sensation, relaxation, and stillness, and then looking inside. That is why you look inside. Just make it clear. The mind needs to be very subtle. Subtler than the thought is what? Awareness, consciousness, experience. Rib cage, the chest, the entire chest. Object. Now see, you are understanding and you are into that experience. Okay. But yes, I also experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Oh, subtle. Good. Thoughts may be there. They are coming and going. Let it be. And then looking inside the rib cage. Looking inside. In the field of awareness, knowledge, and experience. So here I give a break to the mind. No, space and the sensation, calmness and quietness. Why otherwise, I don't see anything and mind will go crazy. Not for everyone. Others' mind will be totally absorbed into the infinite space. Possible. Belly. The mind goes to the belly, physical mind. Subtle mind, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Deep inside, subtler experience of calmness and quietness. Our masters have guided and they left their legacy in hundreds of ways. That is the beauty. And right leg, sensation, relaxation, stillness, calmness, and quietness. You see, I'm talking of the movement of the mind. I'm talking of the quality of the mind. See that again. Look at the right leg, object, physical mind. Experience, sensation, relaxation, stillness at this moment because you're not doing anything. Hence, the experience is there. No, we're not happy. Let us go deeper within. The subtler mind. A sense of calmness and quietness. When principle is coming to my mind, I'll take that up next week. Move the mind on the left leg. It is, you see it. Then you rise into the experience of sensation, relaxation, stillness. You look inside, you experience calmness and quietness. And the entire body. The entire body, from the top of the head to the toes. And you move, you rise above sensation, relaxation, and stillness. You rise above further. Calmness and quietness. Means what? That subtler mind has an awareness, knowledge, and experience of the calmness and quietness. What it means to you, to a meditator, to a seeker. The mind that was obsessed with the objective world, you have left it. And what it means, the mind has started moving within. Whether you say moving within, living within, whether you say the subtler mind, whatever you want, or whether you say you are transcending the sense organs, acting as an instrument of knowledge. We are using Eastern wisdom as an instrument of knowledge to find our true nature. That is beyond and behind the sense organs and the mind. So one master explains in the form of making it subtle, subtler, subtlest. Now in that state, we have tasted the subtler mind in the field of awareness, knowledge and experience. No doubt, look at the breath, make it little subtler. Hold on to that subtler state. And that holding on is nothing but the awareness of the breath. Looking at the breath, or I would say know the breath. The breath is going in and out. Now it will go deeper, perhaps today. You know it, means you know the breath is going in and out. What I'm talking of the subtle mind. The knowledge is already subtle. You feel the sensation, so that you hold on your mind, the subtle mind, on the breath. And the third point, I make it little more subtle. No change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. How do you experience the change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath? At the physical level. See that. You'll have a clarity at a deeper level. That is why I always say three-pointed awareness of the breath, to give you a glimpse of it. You know the breath is going in and out. What should I do? You know the breath going in and out. You need not to do anything. You feel the sensation of the breath going in and out. Yes, continue. Be with it. No change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Be with it. The mind is made subtle. The subtle mind does not attract any thought, feeling, likes, dislikes, any object, image. It does not mean they do not come, they do not appear in the mind. They come, they go. You are free from it. Like you're walking, you're doing a morning walk, a lot of people, traffic is there. Let it be. When there are very small alphabets written in a book, what we do? Somewhat we squeeze our eyes to see that. We make it more subtle. How? We squeeze our eyes to open very small area. Do you see that subtlety? Exactly, that is another way to explain you. So leave the breath awareness for a while and see how the mind is. Awareness of the space all around your body and the objects there. Just recognize, know it. So you are knowing the objects outside, and now you also know and experience your body. See the difference? Mind is one. And then experience the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. So in the very process, we are reminding, recalling again, and telling the mind that I need to work on you, don't work on me. How simple. And then look at the breath. We're repeating the very first step. That is our goal. So you don't lose track of it. I have beautiful experiences. I was carried away by that. It's important. But if you get carried away, everything is destroyed. Separating, looking at the thought, if there is any thought. If there is no thought, looking into the space. Simple. And then return again to the three-pointed awareness of the breath. You know the breath is moving. You know the breath Movement of the breath brings an experience of the sensation. You see, the subtle mind and the physical mind, both are there. Need not to fight. And no change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. What I was explaining, mind is doing karma yoga. It has no motivation for action, just an awareness of the breath going in and out, feeling the sensation, and you are there. The moment the mind, because of the past impressions, become physical, why it triggers certain impressions, and the mind becomes physical, you lose that track. Just see that in that way. You have been calm since morning, and in the afternoon you see some object, the past impression triggers, creates the likes and dislikes, the mind becomes physical, the calmness is lost. Be 100% clear. Follow these teachings of our great masters. And no doubt the mind is subtle. It is looking at the breath, feeling the sensation, no change. Why not make the mind little subtler? Every time the breath goes in, and let the mind merge into the infinite space or the darkness. The breath returns, the mind merges into the space outside and the space inside. No, but how to do it? You are not doing it. The breath goes in and the mind drops into the inner space. The breath comes out, the mind drops into the outer space. How simple it is. As if what I'm saying you, that okay, come into my house, become aware of the space. Go out of the house, become aware of the space. That is what I'm saying you. Continue, my friend. doing nothing, remain as you are. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside, know your experiences, and bring the hands down. Let us share our experiences. How are you, Samir sir?
Very fine, sir.
Very fine.
Very good experience, sir. Eyes are very cool, and I could find today little bit means I thought that all the thoughts are little bit far from me, and
Wonderful.
here and there is a little means distance in me and my thoughts.
Very
I was
good.
yeah.
That is really deeper, deeper. How are you, Priscilla and Paul?
At first, my mind wouldn't stop. It was not my friend.
Okay.
Then something just gave up, and I felt like I was floating on the ocean.
Very deeper experience, very deeper.
It was great, yes.
I could see that. You see that you look at something and the mind, the past impression triggers, and that object creates the likes and dislikes, and the next moment you leave it. Free. Totally free. Freedom. That's another way to explain the subtle and the mind. How are you, Paul?
I did. I was very relaxed. It was nice in a way that we didn't do any soham. We didn't do
Yes.
it was nice not to repeat some of the technique because I think that actually helped me go deeper.
Go deeper. Yes. Definitely you are in advanced stages and wonderful. And so, how about you, Terry?
Well, I was sort of stuck between the space and the physical because my breath was fighting me.
Okay, yes, I could see that.
But when I merged my mind with my breath and let my mind go in and out with my breath, then I saw a triangle.
Yeah. We have done that triangle practice, so it resurfaced. But that was obvious.